What's up, guys? Marlon back at it again here with another edition of the show. Today is Friday, August 26th. I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all for the support and for watching the channel and making this the premier place where you do get your PlayStation and Xbox news, whether it's live streams for the news or reviews or whatever. If you're brand new to the channel, considering subscribing and turning on that post notification bell if you are interested. So I do have a lot to really say here on the whole PlayStation price hike when it comes to the PS5 and everything. I see a lot of people were giving their takes on this yesterday. A lot of people are sort of damage control in this situation. And I really have a lot to say before I do get started here today. We do have lots of topics to go over. So do me a favor, guys, make sure you hit the like button and hit the share button. Let me make sure that all the chat stuff. Okay, I already see like 33 of you guys in here. Make sure you guys hit the like button. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Make sure you guys share the stream as well. Share the stream, put it out on Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. It definitely does help us out when you guys do that and everything. We can't do it without you guys, without the support of you guys and everything. So let's go ahead here. And I'm going to get some things off my chest, and then we're going to dial into the actual topics and everything. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Okay. So here's my thing. Here's my take once again, because we are going to be talking about the price hike situation from Nintendo, Microsoft. We already talked about that yesterday. And we also have a little bit of update here as far as the price hike situation for the PS5 in terms of sales and forecasts and whatever the case may be. Dualsense Edge, we have a little bit of update on that. Also, the PSVR 2, when it comes to getting hands-on with that. Obviously, Hogwarts Legacy exclusive PlayStation content. We do know that they have the marketing rights for that. Also, Xbox boss coming out talking about console supply for the holiday season. Last of Us Part 1 out in the wild. Not surprised, right? Also, Spider-Man Remastered for the PC. We do have a drastic update here, I think, for a lot of people that, relatively speaking, picked it up on PC and are playing it and stuff. So we do have plenty of stuff here, and we're going to be having our discussion today. So thank you guys so much for the continued support. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on that post notification bell. Okay, so I've been getting tagged into things yesterday pertaining to, obviously, Xbox. Well, they actually came out and said, hey, we're not going up on our price as of right now. And obviously, that's a pro-consumer move in my eyes, considering that your rival is going up on their price 2 years later, right? And obviously, when it comes to hardware sales, Sony is the king between Sony and Microsoft, right? We already know this already. They can't touch Sony when it comes to hardware sales. And so you have a lot of people digging up stuff saying, oh, recently this month, Microsoft went up on the price on the consoles in India, right? And obviously that's because of the conversion of the currency and everything like that, right? And the government and some other reasons why it's the way it is, right? And that's not on the grand scale of things like Sony, right? Where it's just everywhere else but the US. And the reason why they're not going up on the price in the US is obviously the currency difference. Like the dollar is a lot higher here. Not only that, right? But their direct competitor, they're looking at it like, okay, well, we already have a PS5. And somebody brought this up to me yesterday, and I said, right under our nose, we already have a PS5 for $550, right? Rarely I see anybody talking about that. If you go to PlayStation Direct, okay, and you want to buy a PS5, almost every single time, apparently, whenever they have stocks of PS5, it's not the regular $500 disc-based PS5 that's going in stock. It's the $550 one. And I'm like, Wow. Right? Wow. That's $50 more, but you're getting a game. And I'm like, okay, if I'm Jim Ryan, right? And I really want to do this whole price hike thing everywhere else but the US type thing, I would be pushing the Horizon PS5 and not just so much using the whole inflation stuff so much. Like I will be pushing that version of the PS5 because essentially when you do the conversions and everything, it's either $30 or $50 more that everybody else in the world has to come off of now. And it sucks because 2 years later, you're probably saving up. 2 years later, you're struggling trying to get your hands on a PS5. And obviously, there's a lot of selfish people in the world. That's just the way it is. I have my PS5s, right? And I'm not selfish. I'm hurting for other people out there who's been struggling to get a PS5. I know people in the US, for say, still don't have a PS5, still struggling to get a PS5, right? How would you feel to know, oh, well, you saved $500. Now you got to come off of $50. Now you got to come off of $60 more when you could use $50 or $60 more, make it up and buy an actual game or buy an additional controller. Now you got to spend all that money on the actual console. But, you know, everybody has different takes on things. Everybody have their own opinions on things, and that's fine. You know, people want to damage control for these companies. It is what it is. But just remember this, that Sony is not losing out on anything here. Sony is fine when it comes to profits for the PS5, okay? Sony is making buku money when it comes to PS5. Notice you cannot find a PS5 right now if you go into the store. You can maybe see a Series X or a S, right? PS5 is literally the fastest selling PlayStation console of all time for Sony, okay? They literally came out. I don't know if you guys remember, when it comes to retail events, PS5 sold at a rate nearly 1,000 units per minute. Sometimes my brain, for some reason, cannot fathom people sometimes. Like, Sony is not hurting. They're making profit off the PS5, okay? They are. They're selling these things like hotcakes. They can't even keep up with demand, right? So I wish sometimes Sony can shoulder some of the responsibility. Nintendo came out, which we're going to talk about. Nintendo is eating it. Even if Nintendo is hurting some type of way with manufacturing costs or inflation, everybody is going through this crap right now. Gas prices are going up. Food, everything is up. Rent, everything. Everybody is dealing with it, right? Cars are higher than expected. Everything, every industry is sky high. Everything is going up, right? So, okay. Sometimes I just wish people would open up their minds and their hearts and see what these corporations are really doing. Like, really? You guys know I love PlayStation. You guys know I go hard for PlayStation. Since day one, I love their games. But I got to be honest, right? Microsoft is really trying to change their tune now, and I'm leaning more towards Microsoft as well because it seemed like they're finally getting it. They're more aggressive than they were in the Xbox generation. Sony is going back to the same old PS3 generation cockiness. Like, you forget that we're the reason why you are doing so well right now. It's because of the consumers, right? So splashing mud in the consumer face is really not the way to do it. So I just wish that Sony can shoulder some of the responsibility. You got to eat some of that stuff too, Sony. You can't expect your fans to carry the load. It's already bad enough. We got to eat the costs of these consoles. I get it. Oh, people are saying, oh, scalpers and this and that. Come on, man. Scalpers has been doing this from 2 years ago. And even if this is a response to scalpers, why ain't the US suffering because of that? Because I know that a lot of people in the US was making bank off the PS5. So I ain't trying to hear that bull crap about, oh, it's because of scalpers. It's scalpers because that's the reason why they're upcharging for the PS5. Really? There was scalpers in the US too, just like everywhere else. People was making bank businesses off of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, people was quitting their job, not even quitting their jobs, but people was getting laid off left and right. People need something to fall back on. So they start selling PS5s, buying up, maxing out their credit cards and doing it. Oh, Sony went up on the price because of scalpers. I ain't trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. Because at the end of the day, they wasn't really saying much of anything when scalpers was buying up all the PS5s because they were looking at it as, oh, it's numbers, it's sale at the end of the day. I ain't trying to hear that. You make your numbers, you're happy, right? PS5 is selling great, right? You're making a profit off the PS5, right? Come on, man. Like, people just, I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Not everybody has $50 or $60 more to buy a console extra on top of the MSRP. I'm just being honest. Not everybody have that type of money. But to really sit there and make it seem like, well, Sony is going to be fine. Even with this price hike, they're still going to be fine. You know why? Because of that cockiness. You know why? Because of brand loyalty. People are going to buy the console regardless, but it's not a good look. It's not a good look. 2 years later, you're going up on the price. If anything, the price should be going down 2 years later. The price should be going down, not going friggin' up. It should be going down. And it's not like, bro, you lost money with PS3 and you still made it out on top. You still outsold the 360. Come on, man. Okay, people bringing up, oh, okay. They went up on the price in Canada with the PS4. Okay, but this is across the board in multiple regions. It's like people are just coming up with all different type of excuses on why that this is okay. No, this is not okay for them to be doing this. It's not like they're taking an L on the PS5 right now. They're making a profit. They said that last year. They're making a profit. The PS5 is profitable. Accessories. They're number one. You think Sony is hurting? Really? Y'all think Sony is hurting? Sony is not hurting. They're not. They're making billions of dollars off of the PlayStation brand. They got movies, TV shows. What? Are y'all really trying to damage control for Sony? Really? Is Sony look like they're suffering? They're hurting? Man, listen, bro. Listen to me, man. It pains my heart that you have people out here damage controlling for Sony. Like Sony is in poverty or they're just like a regular person struggling to make ends meet. Sony is not struggling. Sony is fine and will be fine even with this price hike. People are still going to be buying a PS5. But I'm saying from a pro-consumer look, Microsoft is eating the costs. Sony could eat the cost too. Right? They went back on their word when it came down to PS5/PS4 upgrade fees. It's all right. That should be free, but we got to pay upgrade fees. It's like we got to shoulder all the responsibility. Gaming is not a necessity. Oh, Jim Ryan typed up, oh, necessity of this. It's not a necessity. It's a luxury. And it's like, I just wish that Sony can carry some of the load too. Carry some of the load. We got to pay upgrade fees. We got to pay extra for the console now, right? We got to pay high price for the games, right? $70 for the games, right? To each his own. Like, I just wish people can understand what's going on here. Everybody else, Nintendo, Microsoft, is saying, nah, we good. We good. We eat. If there's any fees or anything like that, we'll eat it. Because it's all about how you treat your customers, man. I keep telling you guys that. Some of y'all selfish. You know what I mean? Selfish. Oh, I have a PS5, so I don't care. Well, I don't expect you to care, but it really shows you how some people really are. You know what I mean? You don't care unless it's happening to you directly, which is fine. I don't care, which is fine. But I at least care about other people. You know what I mean? Like, man, that sucks. That's horrible. 2 years later. And then not only that, like prices for PC parts is at an all-time low, like since the past 2 years, right? Prices are coming down drastically for PC, right? So really, global inflation, we already know that already. That is nothing new. Nothing new. It's like we taking L's after L's, like we cannot win. We're not even getting paid extra money on our jobs. Food is going up. Rent is going up. Cars are going up. All our necessity stuff is going up. Rent, all of that stuff is going up. And now PS5, which is really not a necessity, it's a luxury. Oh, that's going up in price too. And people are damage controlling for this stuff. Right? And you see it right in front of our nose, in the US. What Sony is pushing more in the US? The Horizon PS5. Allegedly, well, people said that every single time they go to PlayStation, and I actually went to PlayStationDirect.com to check for myself. Oh, the regular PS5 is out of stock. The disc-based one is out of stock. Which one is in stock? The 551. Sony's trying to make as much money as they possibly can on the PS5. They're really trying to, it's just, to me, it comes off greedy. To me, it just comes off like just cockiness. Like, it's just like, oh, we don't necessarily care. We don't care. It's like every single time PS5 goes in stock, it's sold out. It's completely sold out. Minutes, seconds, not even minutes, seconds, it's gone. Right? It's literally gone. No matter how much Sony shows us that they're anti-consumer with their actions most of the time, people just still damage control for them. Still damage control. Right? This price hike stuff, like, was this even really necessary? You got to sit down and you got to think, was this even really necessary? Everybody else is eating the cost. You can't eat the cost. You're already making a profit. This is already profitable for you. But no, you're shoving it on your consumers. That is really struggling. The price is ridiculous in Mexico for a PS5. Australia. You know, all these places, right? Come on, man. Y'all, man, listen to me, man. We're in a recession right now. It's not like the economy is great. It's not. It's in shambles, right? People are losing jobs. You know what I mean? There's not enough. Listen to me, man. It's all type of stuff going on in the world. We can't really afford things right now. You know what I mean? Gaming is at an all-time low as far as, like, you know, engagement and this and that. I understand year on year. I get it. Like, numbers drop, falls off, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, it's like, where do we win at? Before we get into these topics, where do we win at as consumers? Where do we win at? Where do you draw the line? Where do we draw the line at for the consumer to win? It's like if we don't call these companies out, it's like nothing happens. Like, where do we win? Can we get a W for a change? Sony is getting a W on this whole price hike. It's benefiting them. It's not benefiting us. It is not. Yes, they're going to be increasing PS5 supply to get more PS5s out there. That's a W for consumers, because people who really and truly want to get the PS5, they can get it now. But if you're living in those countries, that's a big L, because now you got to come off of extra money that potentially you got to save more for. You don't know everybody's financial situation. So where can we win at? Because all we're doing is taking L's for these corporations. I thought, what about for the players? Play has no limits. Like, where's the, like, this is how you treat your consumer and your fan bases? Like, seriously. But I guarantee you, a lot of people who are damage controlling, if they were in a country where they have to literally spend $200 or $300 more for a PlayStation 5 that they wasn't even ready to spend, I guarantee you'll be upset. I guarantee you'll be in your feelings as well, because it's directly affecting you. That's $200-$300 extra that you could be maybe, you know, putting on the table for your family. That's $30, $50 extra that you could be using for an accessory or using for a game. It's like, where do we win at as consumers? That's just like the point that I'm trying to drive. Where do we win at? Because we're getting games and things that we don't ask for. it's just so much nonsense. It's like, it just make me sick to my stomach, bro. Like, it's just, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? Like, seriously, we going back. I keep telling you guys, this is not the same Sony that we grew up on in the 90s. This is not the same Sony. This is a whole different Sony. They're going back to the PS3 mindset. Because best believe, if Sony could have their way, they would literally dominate the gaming console market. 100%. We be having stuff like this happen, price hikes. They'll do whatever they want because there's no competition. That's why I'm so happy for Microsoft. Bravo, which I'm going to talk about on Sunday. This looks good on Microsoft. Regardless if they're just doing it for the good PR, doesn't matter. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do it for the good PR. You're supposed to do it for your consumer base. Wow, Sony is doing something great for a change. Not charging us more money 2 years later. And you can't even throw in an extra game or something. Just, no, the dry PS5, just a dry PS5. No, you got to come off of $50 more. $50 more, put $20 more on that, you can buy a game. Now you got to take that extra money and put it on the actual console. Where do we draw the line, ladies and gentlemen? When are we going to wake up? When can Sony shoulder some of the responsibility as well? We got to come off of money, man. We got to come off of lots of money. Gaming is not a cheap luxury. It is not. It's getting more and more expensive to game. And that's why I'm happy with what Microsoft is doing for gamers with Game Pass. Because you can buy either, you can get it on sale. You can buy a $250 box, or maybe sometime you can get it for $200 with Game Pass. Regardless of what people are saying about Game Pass, that is still an affordable option versus what Sony is doing. Swimming in cash. Right? Not everybody can fork out $70. Not everybody has $500+ to buy a console, right? Not everybody got, money for these subscription services, but at least Microsoft is saying, listen, you know what? I know that we're taking a big L. Thank you so much, Effective, for the $50. God bless you. I know we're taking a big L on not releasing enough AAA games, and we people are laughing and mocking and jeering us. Oh, we got 0 games. But you can't deny the partnerships that they have, right? Games like Lies of P and Wolong and all these games that are day one in friggin' Game Pass. That's an insane offer, because you don't have to pay full price for the game. You could just go into the subscription model and say, listen, I can get to play Lies of P. I don't have to spend $70. I don't have to spend $60. That is still offering value for the gamer. That's Microsoft's biggest thing, is value for the gamer. Right? Microsoft is eating the responsibility. And one could say, well, they're a $1 trillion company. Right? But still, it's all about how you treat your consumer. It's all about being pro-consumer, not anti-consumer, right? And Sony has been in the news as of late, and it's just all bad news. You know what I mean? Whether it's rumors, whether it's the stuff from Brazil, it's just all negative news, man. Like, can we get some positive PlayStation news for once? It's all type of negativity. People are making videos left and right. Sony, really? Really? You're doing this? And I'm talking about diehard PlayStation fans. Diehard PlayStation fans. It is not a good look. It is not a good look. People are saying, oh, PlayStation Plus Premium ain't worth it. People are saying, oh, man, I don't think this price hike is even necessary. It's just so much negativity. And it's not like you're hurting. It's not like you're about to go out of business. Sony is going to be fine. They're making money from all angles. I'm going to get to your $50 donation in a second in that membership message. They're making money from all angle. All angle they're making money. I just break it down to you guys. They're not hurting. Sony is not struggling. They're fine. And they will be fine. And they can get away with this price hike. No, they cannot reverse the price hike, right? To make everybody that was making videos or everybody who wants to call them out. You think Sony cares about being called out? They don't care about that. You think they're going to reverse this price hike? No, they're not. They are not. If anything, they would have said something less than 24 hours ago. Oh, we're sorry. But they're not going to reverse this price hike. It is what it is. And Sony knows that people are going to buy their console. They know. They know that. Regardless of how expensive it is. I see some people say, man, if the PS5 was even $700, I would still buy it. That's the type of people that Sony is going directly towards. People that just don't care. People that are just diehard fans that they'll spend any amount of money. There are a lot of those people out there. Oh, I don't care. I'll spend $700 on the PS5. If Sony even went up $1,000 on the PS5, I will still buy it. People saying, oh, Sony is scalping their own PS5. It is what it is, man. We agree to disagree. All of this, what I just said, is my own opinion. You know what I mean? My own opinion on things. It's not a fact. It's my own opinion. You can disagree with me all you want. You're going to vote with your wallet how you see fit. You're going to support Sony's practices how you see fit. But I'm just giving my 2 cents on the situation. When are we going to draw the line as consumers? When are we going to say enough is enough? I don't know. I don't know when it's going to happen because some of y'all don't care. So why should Sony care? They're going to keep doing what they're doing. Sorry. Effective. Thank you for the $50. Says console is it's not a necessity. It's not. It's not. It's a luxury. It's a want, not a need. Necessity for lives of gamers. It does not depend on PS to live. If you want to attract positive energy, you have to leave the drama. But I also understand that the negative is more attractive for visits to the channel. Listen, man, Effective. Thank you for the $50. Listen to me. It's not necessarily about the negative energy, because I don't do negative energy. I do positive energy. But this is a very hot topic right now. This is a very sticky situation. Sony can't catch a break as of late. You know what I mean? Oh, we can't rival Call of Duty. Oh, we can't rival Game Pass. It's going to take years for somebody else to rival Game Pass. Oh, this. Oh, every time you turn around. Oh, we're paying block fees to stop games from going to Game Pass. All type of negative stuff. Now the price hike. Whoa. Whoa, Sony. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Man, it's sad, bro. It's all good, man. It is what it is, man. But hey, it's all good. What do I know? What do I know? Thank you, Evans. Thank you for the $9. Says Marlon, I bought my nephew a PS5 in Canada. It came out to be 800 Canadian for the Horizon Forbidden West bundle. And that's before tax. So after tax, 900 Canadian. Wait, what? You must be out your mind. Yo, stuff in Canada is expensive. And I know that firsthand because I have family in Canada. 900 Canadian? Wait, what? You must be out of your mind. No. You see what I'm talking about? Yeah, and y'all think Sony is hurting. Sony needs, this was necessary for them to give us a price hike. 900 Canadian? This is bad, bro. This is 900 Canadian is $694. 900 Canadian is $694. Wow. $900 after taxes? Wow. This is what I'm talking about. I feel for you, man. I feel for you, man. I feel for you. But the selfishness of people here in America, like, oh, it's not happening to us, so I don't. Think about that. $900 after taxes. That's $694 for a console. It's literally $700.
Boy, we're swimming in cash.
Man, that is sad. That's just, hey, bruh, it's all good. That is crazy. That is crazy. Think about that. That's $694. 900 Canadian is $694 in America. Wow. Wow. This is what I'm talking about. That is crazy, man. That's for the Horizon bundle. For the Horizon bundle. Wow. So imagine the regular PS5. I better wake up, man. These companies are winning. They're winning. Sony is not hurt. Sony is going to continue to win off the PS5.
Boy,
Sony is not hurting. They're literally not hurting. They're going to be winning. Evans says sales tax is higher in Canada, Marlon. You know this. I know this. I know. That's why I said things are just a lot more expensive over there. But at the same time, good God Almighty. Especially in Montreal, it's 20% sales tax. Man, I feel bad. I feel bad for you guys, man. This is sad. This is sad situation, man. You know, life ain't fair, man. And I guess, hey, if you want to be a gamer, if you want to be a PlayStation fan, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you big time because Sony do not care. You know what I mean? They're going to do, I keep telling you guys, Sony is going to do what's best for them. They're going to do what's best for their business, right? At the end of the day, they don't care who can't afford it, what your financial situation is. These corporations, they're going to do what's best for them, right? That's just what it is. Where's the olive branch? There's no olive branch. It's either you're going to pay the $50 to $30 more that they're charging you for, or you're just going to leave the PS5 altogether and go to Microsoft. I see some people saying, oh, I'm just going to Microsoft. Maybe they're just lying and saying that they're switching over to Xbox because Xbox has the more affordable option. Maybe they're telling the truth. I don't know, but this looks good on Nintendo and Microsoft right now. It does, because Sony is the only one that's doing this worldwide, literally everywhere else but the US. In my closing, to move on to the next topic, I just want to say this, man. I wish everybody the best. And I pray that you'll find the extra money that you need to find to pay for your PS5. And because, hey, while I know Sony offers quality experiences and quality games, it sucks. It's a terrible situation. Considering that we are in a recession, we're supposed to be trying to save money, not spend more money. The math just does not make sense at all. And it's like, where do we win as customers? It's like, I'm done talking about it. Let's get to the news because I'm wasting my time talking about it. It is what it is. You want a PS5, you're just going to have to pay extra for it. It is what it is. All right, so diving into our first story here, I really want to talk about, obviously, you know, the price situation here and Nintendo and what they're actually saying. Let me see here. Nintendo responds. So Nintendo obviously throw their 2 cents into this. And obviously, you know, Nintendo is not a directly competing with Sony in the next gen space. Obviously, Nintendo is in a league of their own. And like I said before, Nintendo is winning right now with the Switch. They just came out with a Splatoon Switch. Like, Nintendo can care less about this next generation console war nonsense. Nintendo printing money with the Switch. Going on, what, 5 years now? Nintendo has nothing to worry about. Microsoft came out. This is all good PR. This is all good PR at the end of the day. So whether you want to say whatever you want to say about Nintendo or whatever, this is still good PR. And so let's talk about Nintendo and what's actually going on here. And this is why I say I love Nintendo, because Nintendo don't need no help from nobody to sell their stuff. You know what I mean? Nintendo, they might have their faults here and there, just like every other company. Sometimes they do some little anti-consumer stuff, just like every other company. But at the end of the day, like I said before, even if there was a price hike for the Switch, people will still buy it. Nintendo and Sony can do that. Nobody else can do it. Because if Microsoft do it, maybe there might be a huge uproar behind it. Oh, you're $1 trillion company. Why are you going up on the price? You're not hurting for profit. You see what I'm saying? But if Nintendo and Sony does it, oh, they can get away with it because it's Nintendo and Sony. Come on, man. Get out of here, bro. Seriously, man. Like, y'all gotta open up your eyes and realize what the heck is really going on here. You know what I mean? And Like, only certain companies can get away with doing certain things. And the reality is, guys, there's nothing you can do about it. You just got to accept it and just move on with your life. Let's go ahead here and let's dive into this one. So the PS5 price increase prompts Nintendo to respond. Okay, and Nintendo Respond confirms no plan for the Nintendo Switch to be priced hiked in any type of way. So yeah, the price is still going to remain with Nintendo, and the price is also going to still remain with Xbox. Bravo. It looks good on them because, hey, at the end of the day, they don't see fit. They're making profits. Either Nintendo, I already know they're making money off the Switch. There's no denying that, right? Nintendo is not hurting. Nintendo got their money. They're not hurting. And even if they were hurting, it's all about the PR, the good PR, playing the good Samaritan here for the consumer. It's all about what you put out there, right? And it's going to stay out there, and people are going to look at you like, I'm not going to support this because y'all really not hurting. But hey, it is what it is. So Nintendo has issued a response in the wake of Sony's news that it is obviously pertaining to the PS5 increase in multiple regions, and revealing that the format holder has no plans to bump up the price of the Nintendo Switch. Now, this follows Microsoft confirmation that it won't be issuing a Xbox price increase. Now, this statement was issued to Eurogamer. Now, as our president, Mr. Furukawa, stated at the 82 annual general meeting of shareholders in June, we will not, I repeat, we will not comment on price strategies and stuff like that. We currently do not have any plans to change the price of our hardware due to inflation or increase procurement costs in each country. So therefore, they're not going up on the price at all. Doesn't matter what region it is or what's going on, they're remaining the same with their price. And that is good. That is good for the consumer. We all in a recession right now. We all dealing with inflation and things like that. So, man, we got to get a W some type of way as a consumer, you know, because we got to spend so much money on these consoles. So, bravo to Microsoft, bravo to Nintendo for literally coming out and saying that, listen, we have no plans as of right now to change our pricing on our consoles or accessories or whatever the case may be. It is what it is. It's going to stay the same way. Okay, now let's move on to something else that I want to talk about that is very interesting. And this has to do with the PS5 price increase and the sales impact, right? And so here we go, man. We got to talk about this one. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the share button. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for the support. Okay, so let's put a timestamp on this one for you guys. And yeah, here we go. So we're going to talk about this. And obviously, I really wanted to kind of share this with you guys because this is very, very interesting. Okay, so the PS5 price increase to have minimal impact on sales. Don't need an analyst to tell me this. Don't need an analyst to tell me this. You know why I don't need an analyst to tell me this? Because Sony is going to be fine. Even with this $30 to $50 or 20% to 30%, as high as 30% increase on the PS5 in all the other regions or all the other part of the world except for the US, people are still going to buy the PS5. So let's not fool ourselves here. PS5s is still going to sell, like I said earlier, okay? Because that brand loyalty on PlayStation is very strong. And Sony knows that they can do something like this and get away with it because they know that their fans is going to buy the PS5. So yeah, of course, people are not going to just all of a sudden, oh, I'm not going to buy a PS5. You know what I mean? Like, you have a choice. If you got a PS4, well, God of War, one of their biggest cash money spender, you know what I mean, is coming out this year, and that's going to move PS5. You heard what Jim Ryan said. There's going to be more PS5s that's going to be out there in the wild. There's going to be more PS5s. They're increasing supply. So that's their money maker. God of War, biggest money maker. You already know Last of Us is going to put up crazy numbers. So please don't fool yourself into thinking that Sony is going to be hurting. They're not hurting. Even before this price hike, they wasn't hurting. because they can't even afford, they can't even keep up with demand for the PS5, let alone Last of Us. That's a big cash money for them, right? They're gonna sell so much copies of that game. It's unbelievable. God of War, same thing. So of course it's gonna have minimal sales impact. Listen, Wayne, thank you for the $5. Says Sony need to reverse this situation because it's a big problem. They ain't going to do that, bro. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. Sony's going to do what they're going to do, and they're going to get away with it because the higher ups, I'm going to say this, the higher ups in the industry are saying this is fine. Oh, Sony, I understand why Sony is doing this. This is okay. This is justifiable. People are out here justifying Sony going up on the price. Okay? So if you have the big journalists that Sony supplies review codes to, that Sony sponsors and whatever, if you have those higher ups in the industry, that's just, it's okay, Sony, it's justifiable. And then you have the drop in the bucket people like me, the fly on the wall that, Sony might rarely come across my channel and even give me the time of day. And I'm over here saying what I'm saying. You think they actually care? No, they care about the bigger publications, the IGNs and these bigger people out on Twitter with hundreds and thousands of followers. If those people are not crying and complaining, you honestly think anything is going to go in reverse? No, it's not. Sony's not going to reverse a doggone thing, okay? Because Sony is looking at the higher ups. They're looking at the higher ups. If the higher ups is not complaining, I'm telling you how this industry works. Y'all better wake up, realize how this industry works, man. This industry is a crab in the bucket mentality. Ain't nobody fixing to hold your hand. This ain't no Barbie doll big adventure situation.
Boy,
you on your own, my G. You on your own in this industry. You understand? I'm a step on your head to get to the top mentality in this industry. This is the only way you're going to make it. If you're not somebody big and high and mighty, you think Sony is going to listen to you? Sony is not going to listen to you. It will take everybody in the higher ups in the industry to complain about this price hike for Sony to do something. If a little fly-by-night mom and pop shop like myself, oh, this and that, oh, this and you think they care? No, they don't. Because it's not damaging enough reputation for them to sit there and say, oh, we need to do something. I'm just a fly on the wall comparing to all these other bigger channels, right? But there's a lot of people on YouTube, right, that is literally complaining about this stuff. Right? They are complaining about it. They're saying, man, this is unnecessary, right? Because Microsoft is not doing it. Nintendo is not doing it. PC prices are going down. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the PS5 is making a profit. So why are you doing this? Like I said, not enough people are complaining about it. The higher ups are okay with it. Kratos, thank you for the $2. Says, give me that shirt, Marlon. Hey, man, I got this shirt from Sony Santa Monica, so I'm going to hold it close to the chest. But, hey, you never know what can happen in the future. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead here and let's dial into this particular topic. So this is coming following the news that Sony will be increasing the PS5 price in select countries. Ampere analyst Piers Harden Rolls has predicted that the move will have minimal impact on sales. So that simply means people are still going to buy the PS5. People are not going to be hurting because Sony went up $30, $50 more in all these other regions except for the US. It's still going to sell. And that's the ugly truth about this. Like, people don't have no choice but to pay the extra $30, $50 to get a PS5. You want them pretty graphics. You want them haptics. You know, you want them adaptive triggers. You want that Pulse 3D headset kicking on your head. You know what I mean? Hey. You want them super fast load time. You want that nice, beautiful console in your house. You're gonna have to pay for it. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to pay. You want that, oh, wow. Look at that graphics. Oh, wow. Look at that story. You're gonna have to pay for it. That's just the way it is. So people ain't gonna have no choice. So they're not gonna be hurting, or people are just not gonna drastically not buy PS5s because $30 or $50. That's not the point. The point is, the matter is 2 years later, you just hit us upside the head with a price increase. Price is supposed to be going down, especially with the holiday season. And we're in a recession right now. People was not really expecting this. So it caught everybody off guard or whatever. So that's just what it is, right? Now, here is the situation. So this analyst is saying overall sales are unlikely to suffer a major decline. Duh, because it's PlayStation. It's PlayStation, right? So even if it's Nintendo, even if Nintendo would have came out, right, and said, hey, we're going up on the price of the V2 Switch, because you have the V1, you have the V2 Switch, and you have the OLED Switch. Even if they said, oh, the V1 Switch, the original Switch that we came out with, we're going up on the price $60. Guess what? Everybody will be, yeah, whining and complaining, and then turn around and purchase it anyway. Because of that brand loyalty. Because of the games and because of the services, whatever the case may be, that got you hooked into the actual experience. That got you hooked into what they offer you. Right? You can whine and complain all you want, but no, we're charging $60 more. People are still going to buy it. So regardless, it's just the PR, man. It's just a bad look in general. Like, you don't want to have a price hike like this 2-3 years later. Like, stuff is supposed to be going down. Anyways, quote, while we believe there will be disappointment for some countries, you're doggone right, that have been trying to buy a PS5 without success, or that we are saving to buy the console just in time for the price to increase. Yeah, it sucks. That's what I'm talking about. You guys know that I love PlayStation. You guys know that I give PlayStation their due diligence. I love their games. I love their hardware. We get hyped for these showcases. That's never going to change. But I have opinions. I have feelings. Like, I'm always going to say how I feel. And I'm always about people and treating people right. And I just feel like, man, really a price hike right now with all the stuff that's going on in the world right now, and people are struggling to put food on the table and paying rent and all this type of stuff. It's just, come on, Sony, really? But hey, that's just everybody else's opinion on the matter, right? If you love something enough, you should talk about it. You should say how you feel about stuff. You should not just, channel yourself in a corner or whatever, lock yourself in a room. Like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to scream at the top of my freaking lungs. Like, it is what it is at the end of the day. The demand for the PS5 is at an all-time high. Literally, at retail stores, PS5 are selling 1,000 units per minute. Like, just selling in seconds, gone. If they get 100 PS5, it's gone in seconds because it's PlayStation. Thank y'all so much for subscribing. Make sure you turn on that post notification doggone bell. Like, it is what it is. Sony just got that type of power. You don't. You just some fly by night. You see, like, people making fun of Microsoft. Oh, they got 0 games. But here's the thing. People are still buying PCs. People are still the margin is not that far off from Series X and PS5 sales. Like, Microsoft is not way in the back like they used to be with the Xbox One. Microsoft is doing way better than how they were doing back in the Xbox One generation. People are not using their Series X as door stoppers. People are not using their Series X to wipe their foot on. As soon as they... Who is it? Hey, man. It's your boy Clive. Let me in. Oh, what is this? Oh, man, you got a Series X at the door for me to wipe my foot on as a welcome mat? Nah, G. Nah, G. I'm not about to wipe my foot off on the Series X, bruh. Nah, man, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to for this console. But, man, if you had that Xbox One console, yeah, I use it to stop my door from closing. I use it to wipe my foot on there. Because that was the whole thing that Microsoft put out there. That bad energy, that anti-consumerness. Oh, DRM, and oh, we're an entertainment box. We're not a gaming box. And oh, this. Don't get me started on the old Xbox One generation. So what I'm saying is nobody will ever use their PS5 as a doorstop or as a welcome mat. Let me wipe my feet on there. No, that's not going to happen because people know the value of these consoles. The Series X, I've said it, is one of Microsoft's greatest console ever since the 360. It's a great console. You know what I mean? It's a great console. I love the Series X. One of my all-time favorite consoles. I love it. You know what I mean? I love the Series X, man. I do. It's a great machine. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? So obviously, to go back on this article where they're saying that basically, yeah, it's a disappointment for some consumers that are having to try to buy a PS5 without success, or that we are literally saving to buy the console just in time for the price to increase the high pent up demand for PS5 or literally Sony's device, means that this price increase of around 10% across markets will have minimal impact on sales of the console. We accept that Sony's sales forecast for the PS5 will remain unchanged. Right? You got to accept it. It's not going to change. That's expected. It's not going to change because it's PlayStation. So they're not going to be hurting. They're not going to be hurting. Now, Sony attributed to the increase in the price to the high global inflation rates. Harden Rolls added, given the facts that the PS5 has been severely supply constrained since launch, with many consumers unable to buy Sony's latest console, and the fact that Microsoft has shown no indication yet of increasing its Xbox Series pricing, there is no doubt that this price increase will have a hard decision to make. So again, like I said before, you're going to have that decision to make if you're in these different regions and countries and everything like that. Man, is it worth me spending an extra 30 or extra 50 or extra 60 or 100, whatever, wherever you are in the world and you're directly affected by this? You're just going to have to make that decision. I told you guys that early in the stream. Now, however, with inflation and price increases being felt through the component supply chain, much of that priced in the US dollars, that is, alongside continued high costs in distribution, Sony has now had to pass on some of those costs increases to try to maintain its hardware profitability targets. Bullcrap. No. You see what I'm saying? Sony has to pass on the cost increases to us, to maintain its profitability for the PS5. Case in point of what I just said. Sony does not want to eat the costs. They want to put it on us, considering that you already making profit off the PS5 since last year. You see what I'm saying? Makes no sense. We got to eat that cost as consumers. Draw the line, ladies and gentlemen. Where can we draw that line? Sony does not care. This whole article is based, it's minimal as far as sales impact because people are still going to buy PS5s. But on the flip side, Sony has now passed on this situation to their consumers. Now we have to buy into these extra costs and things of that nature to make their hardware profitable for them. And considering that they're not hurting, Sony is not hurting. They're literally not hurting. But hey, I digress. And let me also show you guys this as well. Oh, wait. Let me show you this. Why is it not allowing me to hold up? Oh, source. Okay, they changed it. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, here it is. Oh, the Amazon thing is not true. So, yeah, they end up confirming that was not true. That was a rumor. That's why I didn't report on it. So as you guys can see right here, let me go ahead and zoom in here. Wait, why is my camera not zooming in? All right, so as you guys can see on the screen, like this is the only PS5 you can actually get access to right now. Obviously, the $500 PS5 is out of stock. This is the only PS5 that you got to sign in to purchase right now, which is how much? $550. Now, this is obviously a great deal, right? Because, well, Horizon Forbidden West is $70, right? So if you should buy everything, you're going to spend almost $600, right? 70 plus tax. Well, that's like what, 75, maybe $76, whatever. And then plus the tax on the console, right? So almost $600, relatively speaking. This is the only PS5 that's readily available. And that's what they're pushing right now. Man, that's just what it is. That's what it is. So, oh, wait. Let me zoom out. Let me get back in there. Hey, there we go. Cool. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's move on here. Let's talk about the PS5 Dualsense Edge. Okay, let's talk about that. All right. So PS5 Dualsense. Now, I know a lot of you guys are saying that, hey, you don't really like the controller. Some of you guys saying, oh, it's probably going to be too expensive. Hey, you're going to pay that premium cost, regardless of the fact. You're gonna pay that premium price. It says, wow, it's crazy. It's crazy. A business doesn't want to operate at a loss. Like I said, listen. This is the last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna move on. Right? We get it that every business is in business to make money. Right? Every business is in business to make a profit. But sometimes, doggone it, you just got to take an L on something, right? To win that consumer, because here's the thing. The margin on consoles are so small compared to software. That's where they make their money, off the software, off the accessories, off of PlayStation Plus, off of microtransactions. That's where they make their money at, right? Not so much on the hardware. Like the margin on the hardware is always small. Sometimes, a lot of times when console comes out, they don't make a profit on the console. They don't, right? They make it off of accessories, but doggone it, sometimes you just got to take an L somewhere. That's what business is all about. It's not just 100% green all the way around. You got to make sacrifices. You got to, especially when you want to entice people, you're selling people hardware so that they can buy your software, right? Sony is making bank off of their digital stuff. The PS5 digital, yes, they're taking an L on that one, but they're making up for it for PlayStation Plus, right? Because they know PlayStation Plus, the PlayStation Store, because they know you can't go anywhere else but to buy directly from the PlayStation Store. So they're making buku money. Yeah, they might be taking an L. Like I said, you got to take an L somewhere. They're taking an L on the digital, on the disk drive version of the PS5. No, they're not taking an L on that. They're actually winning on the PS5 physical, the disk drive PS5. But the digital one, they're taking an L on that one. But they're making up for it with the digital sales, because you can't go anywhere else. They're getting 100% profit off the digital stuff because it's their storefront, right? You can't, it's not like a physical copy of a game where you could go trade it in somewhere or whatever the case may be. So that's the difference. So you guys need to understand that. Anyways, let's move on. All right. Make sure you guys hit the like button if you guys are enjoying the show. Okay. Let me cancel that. Let me put 59 on there. Okay. So let's move on. So we're talking about Sony's details on the PS5 Dualsense Edge. So the controller features on PlayStation.com. So literally on PlayStation.com says user can tinker with the mappable back buttons, allowing you to configure the 2 buttons to any other button input. Now, there's even 3 types of changeable stick caps to ensure comfort and stability, as well as, adjustable trigger lengths, letting you manually set the travel distance of your left and right triggers. Now, at the bottom, it says that built with high performance and personalization in mind, the DualSense Edge wireless controller invites you to craft your own unique gaming experience so that you can play your way. So that's very interesting. Obviously, we're still waiting on price. Obviously, during opening night live, Gamescom, Jeff Keighley said, hey, they partnered up with PlayStation to make that announcement for the DualSense Edge, which is Sony's Pro controller and everything. We're still waiting on price and obviously release date on that one. So there you guys go. Now, Bounty with the $5 says, question, do you think if Xbox dropped the price for the holidays, it will make an impact then? I don't care if you prefer PlayStation, Xbox, just keep it real. Of course, it's going to make an impact. I think it will make an impact. Yes, because if you look at Sony, well, it wouldn't make yeah, I think it will still make an impact because if you look at it this way, if Microsoft comes out and say, hey, we're selling our Series X at $399 instead of $499, and then Sony is still selling their PS5 at $500, yeah, that will be an impact. You know what I mean? That will, considering, and then also not even just in the US, but worldwide, yeah, that would be an impact for sure. Because yeah, here is Sony going up on the price in all these different regions, and then Microsoft coming down on the price for the holiday season, not just in the US, but everywhere else. Yes, for sure, there would be an impact because Sony would have to look into themselves like, yo, we got to do something. We have to do something. We can't just have Microsoft out here, you know, getting all the positive news vibes or PR or whatever the case may be, or pat on the back being, you know, anti-consumer. I mean, not anti-consumer, but pro-consumer, I should say. You know, of course, it would be an impact for sure. It would definitely be an impact because it will make them, you know, look pro-consumer to the situation of the price hike. Especially if it's a worldwide thing that they're doing. Yeah, for sure. Definitely for sure. Let's move along. So we're talking about the PSVR 2 here. And I know that a lot of you guys heard from, I think it was Sony. I think it was the French Sony website that was actually doing this one. And so, yeah, they not website, PlayStation Twitter, the French PlayStation Twitter. I think they were the first one to put out that the release time frame for it is 2023, but hands-on with this is going to be happening, and I want to talk about this one, right? So let's go ahead and let's dial into this one for you guys. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the share button if you are enjoying the show. So PSVR 2 playable for the first time at TGS 2022 via Resident Evil Village demo. Man, wow. I remember playing Resident Evil, what was it? Resident Evil 7 with PlayStation VR, the original PlayStation VR. Man, the kitchen demo was crazy, 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 crazy. So there you guys have it. So Sony's PSVR headset, right? PSVR 2, that is, will be playable for the first time at Tokyo Game Show 2022 on the show floor, and it's been confirmed. Attendees can sample the next-gen device through a Resident Evil Village demo with the Japanese showcase taking place from the 15th to the 18th of September 2022. This will be the very first time PSVR 2 has been playable public. So there you guys have it, man. That is very, very interesting. And so obviously there was no mention of Resident Evil 4 being there. So that's interesting. But man, can't wait to really see a lot of the hands-on stuff. And so the demo will deliver ultimate immersion. Wow. In a demo based around Castle Demetrius from Resident Evil Village for their troubles. That is crazy. That is crazy, man. Wow. Man, can't wait to see some impressions. Can't wait to see what people are actually saying there. Man, I think people are going to just be blown away. I'm pretty sure PSVR 2 is going to be mind-blowing. I mean, obviously, when PSVR came out, it was just like a crazy experience. But hey, we'll see. All right, Hogwarts. Let's talk about Hogwarts here. And so, interestingly enough, we know the game is coming out, I think February 23rd. And so we really want to kind of highlight this for a lot of people. I know they just did the pre-order, I think, for the special edition and all the other editions, I think, yesterday. So we already know that Sony had the marketing rights for Hogwarts Legacy. So pre-order listing reveals Hogwarts Legacy will have PlayStation exclusive quests. I'm not surprised there. Obviously, the game comes out February 10th, 2023. Now, the mention of exclusive quests was spotted in the game's pre-order listing on PlayStation Store by a Twitter user, and they literally point out the detail here. And so the PlayStation exclusive quest comes with any PlayStation version of the game, and it is not tied to pre-order. Pre-order on PlayStation will get you the Felices potion recipe. More details are coming soon. So there you guys have it. Obviously, an exclusive quest for people who are, you know, getting it on PlayStation and everything like that. In response, Chandler Wood, literally the community manager for Hogwarts Legacy, confirmed that the Quest is exclusive to the platform and you do not need to pre-order it to get it. You will need to do is play on PS4 and PS5. So that's all you need to do. Play on PS4, PS5. You don't need to pre-order or anything like that. So it's something that they have with Sony, and obviously Sony have the marketing rights to that. So there you guys go. All right, let me know y'all thoughts in the actual comment section here. All right, so let's go ahead and let's move along. Let's talk about the Xbox. Oops. Let's talk about the Xbox situation right now as far as like supply and what's actually happening. Let's go ahead and let's dial into this one. Appreciate the love. Do me a favor, if you are enjoying the show, hit that like button, hit that share button. Thank you guys, man, for the continued support. I appreciate you guys. All right, so diving into our next story here. Xbox boss expects console demand to outstrip supply this holiday. Wow. Now, Phil Spencer suggests that supply chain issues could extend to 2023. Now, one good thing I can hear is that Sony is doing well with supply and everything like that. Like, they're going to improve it. They're already improving it and everything like that. So Microsoft Gaming Chief has said he doesn't think that the company will be able to satisfy demand for Xbox consoles this holiday season. Now, Phil Spencer provided an update on the supply chain issues the company continues to face during an interview with Bloomberg. I still think demand will outstrip supply for us, this holiday. He said, we'll see when we get into 2023, you will start to see more that supply is catching up with demand and maybe actually see one in store when you actually walk in. And relatively speaking, you could walk into a store now and see a Series X or see, a Series S more than you can see a PS5. And I think with this holiday season approaching, with God of War Ragnarok and with a lot of things that's actually popping off, yeah, for sure. Sony is saying that they're improving, supply and everything to really kind of match the demand that they're going to have, for games like God of War Ragnarok and obviously The Last of Us remake. So there you guys have it. Let me know y'all thoughts in the actual comment section. Okay, so diving into our next story here, we have to talk about The Last of Us Part 1. Obviously, reviews go up tomorrow. Embargo lifts tomorrow. So a lot of you guys will see from the critics, basically what they're saying, the improvements, considering that we are not getting a state of play. You'll see all the gameplays and stuff tomorrow, right? So there y'all have it. But something interesting is actually going on here. And some retailers, at least the one that we're going to be talking about right now, and like I said, it is no surprise. I mean, I used to see used to go into Walmart and a game that have a street date of like, say, the 15th, and then you go in there on the 10th and the game is already on the shelf. But obviously you would need a manager override to override that to sell it. And you don't want to break street dates, man, because that's going to come down hard on you. And especially if you sign a contract with Sony or Nintendo or Microsoft, and they can cut off supplies from you in the future, cut off several relationships, whatever. So it's not worth it to sell a game early, right? So The Last of Us obviously looks to be on sale earlier at US retailers. So someone was literally getting their AirPods fixed and they came across, Last of Us Part 1 literally on the shelf. Now, clearly, if they would have asked for that, because most of the employees there, sometimes they don't even really know a lot of stuff that's really going on. So yeah, I want The Last of Us Part 1 and then, the remake for PS5. And then they go in there, take it out and then go to the register and scan it. The computer's going to tell you, hey, this game does not come out till XYZ. So I don't know if you guys are whatever, maybe you go to a Target or Walmart and you might see the game there. You still can't buy it. You might be able to take a picture of the game, but you still can't buy it because in the system, I used to work retail. In the system, once you scan that game, it's going to say, hey, game comes out XYZ. So you cannot sell the game, right? Because it's already programmed into the system. So that's interesting that obviously, and I'm pretty sure GameStop and other places like Walmart and obviously Target and Best Buy, they already got copies just sitting there, just waiting for next week. So let me know y'all thoughts in the actual comment section. All right, let's move along here. let's talk about Spider-Man and the interesting part here that's actually going on with PC. I do know that some people were saying that they were having some issues with the Steam Deck version of the game. From what I heard, it was only running at 30 FPS and what have you. So that is what we're actually dealing with as we speak. But we do have an update here from Sony. And so we're going to be dialing into this one. So basically, Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered PC update. So this is version 1.824.10, brings new graphics settings, bug fixes, and more. And obviously this also, you know, relatively speaking, you can see the massive update here, which I'm going to be showing you guys. And there it is. Obviously, a lot of stuff. Added sharpness sliders for NVIDIA DLSS and AMD FSR 2.0 upscaling. Added sharpness to slider that controls the in-game sharpness. There's a lot of stuff here. Obviously, with the Steam Deck, they various UI fixes for the Steam Deck. I know people was having issues with that, so that's pretty good there. Improved field of view and cinematic blur transitions, all that type of stuff. Various stability fixes and improvements with login and all of that. So there it is, guys. Massive update. So hopefully this fix a lot of issues that you guys were currently having, you know, with Spider-Man Remastered on PC and everything. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comment section. All right, so we are in the Q&A portion of the show right now. So if you have any questions or, you know, any concerns or anything like that, feel free. Today is Crazy Fridays on the channel, so we normally go crazy, you know, in the chat and stuff like that, have a good conversation, chill and talk. So if there's any comments, you know, pertaining to the topics that we talked about today, if you did enjoy or whatever the case may be, hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button if you are brand new to the channel. Tag me at MarlonGamingNation with your questions, or super chats are welcome if you may. That's entirely up to you. All right, so Q&A. Any questions, any concerns? Let me know. Let me know. What do you guys what are you guys anticipating for The Last of Us remake as far as like review score? Clearly, I think it's gonna get 10 out of 10. I mean, it's the same game. It's one of the best reviewed games of all time. The game is a masterpiece, so I could say it's gonna get 10 out of 10 across the board. I mean, there's no denying that the original Last of Us is a masterpiece, and it's one of the best reviewed games ever made, and also even on the PS4. So I think it's going to get 10 out of 10 across the board. All right, Q&A. Okay, it says, did you see that the new Alpha Beta Xbox update 40 minutes ago? No. It says, Marlon, you think that Activision deal is going to make more people buy Xboxes? For sure, bro. For sure. Xboxes, PCs, all of that, you know. He said sign up for Game Pass, all of that. It says, has there been any really good changes in Sony recently? Well, I mean, besides increasing supply on the PS5, right? I mean, they increased supply on PS5. They're still working on the retro games. I mean, that's really about it, really. I mean, everything else is just like a bunch of negative press. You know, it really is, man. But hey, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? It says, what do you think will be Sony? Sony is going down a bad path. I mean, I think they're just being cocky at this moment, but Microsoft is there to really straighten them out. And I want Sony to do well this generation. Don't get it twisted. I want Sony to do well. I want Microsoft to do well as well. I want a healthy competition this generation more than ever before. You know what I mean? That's what I want. Evans, thank you so much for being a sponsor. I mean, I keep saying sponsor, member. Thank you so much. It says, I think it will score well, but do you think it will justify the price tag on it? It's justifiable for people who never played it before. For people who have played it, then it's justifiable, because then you got to sit there and think, is it really worth it? The better graphics and the changes in the AI and everything else. yeah, you got to sit there and say, do I really want to spend that money or not? Right? So you have to kind of decide that for yourself. But for people who never played The Last of Us, the original Last of Us, or Last of Us 2, well, obviously Last of Us 2 is a whole different conversation. But if you never played the PS4 version, if you never played it on PS3, then yeah, this is a win for you. And you already have a PS5. It's a big win for you. It says Amazon is already in gaming. If they try to buy the #1 console maker, the FTC would step in. Sony is not up for sale, so that's not going to happen. I see people saying that. It's not going to happen, so it is what it is. He says, what do Sony need to do all this bad publicity? Just do better, man. Just do better. Just do a lot more pro-consumer stuff. You know, like, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. But you know what? They're doing, like Sony said, they're doing this for their business. And it's unfortunate, but they gotta do this. We gotta eat the costs. They're not gonna eat the costs. We gotta eat the costs. We gotta pay extra, you know what I mean, for a PS5. So it is what it is, right? And we're gonna talk more about it on Sunday for sure. Sylvester N, what up? Appreciate the love and the support. It's all good, man. It's all good, you know. It's all good. No matter what Sony do, it's great. You know, Sony can never do anything wrong. Marlon, did you hear that gaming journalists have been saying that Microsoft is ahead of Sony this gen? What's your thoughts? Ahead in what? Definitely not in hardware sales. If you're saying as far as what potentially Game Pass can do to Sony, if Sony don't find different angles and avenues, then yeah. I think in the subscription department, yes, for sure. They're a big threat to Sony. Hence why Sony was so worried about Call of Duty and all this type of stuff. But they're leading in the subscription department. But as far as hardware sales, as far as brand loyalty, yeah, Sony got that sold up. It says, I'm picking up Ragnarok and Pokemon. Got you, bro. That's good. That's good. It says, you think that the PS5 Pro controller will have a price increase? Nah, I think they're just going to sell it the way it is. I mean, we'll never know if it's an increase or not. Only Sony knows that. But they're going to just sell it the way it is. Like, they're just going to come out and say, hey, $200, and that's going to be it. Man, if they go up on the price on that PS5 Pro controller, man, people are going to flip. People are going to do cartwheels if that's the case. So, no, sir. No, sir. It says next public PS5 update be September. That's good. I heard about that. It says Sony should buy EA at this point. I mean, only if it makes sense for Sony to do that. I mean, you know, Sony probably looking at it like, okay, you look at the IPs that EA got, and if it makes sense for Sony, because Sony is only going to make moves that make sense for them. You know, they're not just going to buy, you know, publishers or whatever the case may be just because. They can't do what Microsoft do. We already know that. But yeah, you know, if Sony sees the need to buy EA, then they will. But I don't think so. I don't think they're going to buy EA. It has to be a good fit for them. And at the same time, how much is EA up for? I don't think Sony can afford them. I don't know. But can Sony afford EA? That's the thing. Says, yeah, I don't think they could afford EA, honestly. Yeah, I don't know how much EA is up for sale for. It says day one, I've already started saving for it. Let me ask you guys this. Are you guys buying The Last of Us Part 1? Reviews are going up. I need everybody in the chat to tell me, are you buying The Last of Us Part 1? Are you picking it up? Are you picking it up? Yes or no? Because I know some of you guys never played it when it first came out. So are you picking it up? It says Microsoft could catch up if Sony keep it up being so pro-consumer. So if Microsoft catches up them in hardware sales, they could be in trouble. And Sony, you see, Sony, the thing is with Sony's always going to try to find a way to come out on top. So, right? That's what they always do, especially when they're backed in the corner. So I see a bunch of people saying no, definitely not. No, Black Magic says no, undecided. Okay. says put a poll for The Last of Us. All right. I'm taking the L. I already told you guys I'm buying it for you guys. So for the ones who are undecided, are you buying Last of Us remake? I'm already taking the L for you guys. So it is what it is, because there's a lot of people that are sub to the channel that are undecided, and they probably want to see gameplay on it. They probably want to hear my thoughts on it. So it is what it is. I'll take the L. That's part of running a YouTube channel. You're going to have to take the L. You got to buy the products. You got to buy the services. You know what I mean? You have to take an L. That's just the way it is, bro. If you want to make your fan base happy, you got to take the L. You're running a channel, bro. Like that's what you got to do. You got to invest into the channel. You got to do what you got to do. It is what it is. It is what it is, bro. It is from a consumer standpoint. If I was still working at FedEx and have 3 or 4 kids to take care of, yeah, I'll probably think different, because I'll be like, nah, I already played this already. I can live without this. But when you're running a YouTube channel and you have a lot of people that watches your channel, or they're depending on you, or they value your opinion, you got to do what you got to do. You got to cough it up. You got to cough it up. You know what I mean? You got to cough it up. So it is what it is. Giveaways, will be having a bunch of God of War Ragnarok giveaways coming up, courtesy of a lot of the members in the channel. So it is what it is, right? But yeah, he says no one in the fan base want a hammer though. Well, the thing is, Gaskin, is that when it comes to God of War, a lot of people love God of War, including me. So that's just the way it is. But like I said, I've finished Last of Us so many times. Even the wifey finished it like twice already, or 3 times already in the past month or 2 or so. And so you've seen that game being played so many times. But like I said, as a YouTube channel, that's just the way it is. You got to make sure, whether it's reaching out to these companies to get a review copy, or they reach out to you to take the time out of your day to review this so that you can put it out there for your consumer bases. That's just what it is, man. You got to cover your bases, bro. You have to do what you have to do. If you got to take an L, you got to take an L. So I'll take an L. No. I have the game on PS3, and I have the game on PS4. No, I don't. I wouldn't rush out to spend $70 just to have it in my collection. A game like that, I'll wait for a sale to have it in my collection, because I already have the PS3 copy. It's sitting right back here on the shelf, and I have the PS4 remaster. Why would I need to rush to have it in my collection for, considering I have both copies of the game just sitting there? No, it's for day one content. It's for content for the channel, to do playthroughs on it, because I guarantee you, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, it's going to be at least 600 or 700 of you guys that's going to be in the stream day one, right? That's just the way it is. Like, people want to see the game. So, man, it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do. You have to do what you have to do. When you have a YouTube channel, you know what I'm saying? And same like when I used to have my website. Like, I literally have to make that sacrifice to buy the product and review the product with my own money. Like, it is what it is. Like, you have to do it. You have to do it. You have to. It is what it is, man. It says just for a toss of few graphics Twitch. Oh, God. It says you buying the game is not an L. Well, I'm buying the game because, well, here's the thing, right? Like I said before, as a regular consumer, if I was not doing YouTube, there would be no need for me to buy the game. Right away, because it's a game that I've already experienced multiple times already. When you're running a YouTube channel, people are looking for that content. I don't want anybody going anywhere else, right? Day one, like, hey, we can play the game. We can play the game together. You can look at the gameplay, see if it's something that you really want. That's it. So it is what it is, man. Not right now. Not right now, Jose. Not right now. Soon. Coming soon. Popeye says, great show as always, bro. God bless you. Hey, Popeye, I appreciate you. Thank you. Says, play what you want to play. I always play what I want to play, regardless of what people say or think or whatever. I don't care. So it is what it is. Did I buy GTA upgrade? What GTA upgrade? All right, guys. So I think that's it. Appreciate you guys. Thank y'all for the support. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for the support. I'm not going to hold y'all up. I know y'all going to be busy. It's Friday and everything like that. So appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. I will be what time is it now? I'll probably be on Twitch. Oh, it's already 2:40. Christ almighty. I'll try to be on Twitch and everything possibly today. I was supposed to be on there yesterday, but I got crowded with some stuff that I had to do and everything like that. So one love. God bless. Appreciate the love and the support. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. And if you're brand new, hit the like button on the way out if you do enjoy the content. And I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Please have yourself